Welcome everyone to another episode of Perspective with Chris and Company. I'm your host, Christian Grease. My guest today is a longtime friend. He is an entrepreneur. He is on a journey of positive impact to the world, and we're going to touch on a little bit about that here today. My guest, Jorge Murillo. How are you today, Jorge?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Chris, for having me on the podcast. It's a pleasure and can't wait for a great conversation.
And that's what we're going to do today, specifically about the journey that you've embarked on and the impact that you're having right now with individuals in your following. But before we begin, for those that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about what you got going on, what's going on with Jorge today.
Yeah, 100%. So I was born and raised in Laredo, Texas, and then entrepreneur side. I've been an entrepreneur since I was a young kid. 15 years old, I would sell snacks, cokes, do all those things to students around the school. Sophomore year, I was selling like pop sockets, phone accessories. Junior year, I started a clothing brand, Phenom Apparel, and senior year, kind of closer to freshman year of college, I started an ATM business that I'm still running to this day, 4 years strong. And then kind of took a huge switch into the positive impact, positive outlook to looking to impact more people and kind of bring more people into the light, if you will.
To touch on that right away, what do you think? What began your journey on this route on impacting people in that way? What started it?
Yeah, so it all started in a dark place. So it was around 2022 of May. I was having so many negative thoughts, and these negative thoughts would just be flooding my head and beating my ass up every single time. So it was more like low confidence, self-doubt. I thought the world was attacking me, but I was just making up stories in my own head. And one day I made the decision to just end it once and for all. And I started to find out positive ways, positive habits, and trying to find ways to help myself. I didn't search for therapy. I didn't search for help. I wanted to get out myself. So I looked up online, like, what does journaling do? What does meditating do? Why does it work? And I stayed committed to doing those two things. And ever since I started to see a different life, feel different, and I started to say that everyone else should know this. Everyone else should embark on this journey and be aware of another life within the own world you're living in.
And I don't know if it was around the same time. Well, I think it was around 2022 when we were at your apartment here in San Antonio, and we were just having a simple conversation, but our thoughts, our minds were connecting in a higher level. And I know that sounds kind of weird. I can't explain it, but when we would talk, it was something that would connect on a higher level. Do you agree with that?
100%. And the higher level, in other words, I like to call it higher frequency. Everyone's operating on a different frequency, and it's up to you to kind of tune yourself to what frequency level you want to be at. But when we're talking about like success, business, ideas, innovation, all those type of ideas, like opportunities, that's the language of a higher frequency. So that's exactly what you're feeling.
And when it comes to that specific conversation that we had, since then, I was like, I have to have this guy on my podcast. I won't lie to you. Since then, I've been thinking about doing the podcast. I know it's been.
You've been thinking about me?
Okay. not in that way. Don't get excited. But no, I was excited years ago, and now it's just I'm there now. I'm there now. To share more about the entrepreneur side, what do you got going on in the ATM business? Is that it?
ATM business.
How's that booming?
It's been going really well. Since right now I'm more focused on creating content and more positive impact on other people, trying to find ways to bring value to other people. I actually kind of handed that business over to my dad so he can be the one running it and operating it, because I don't have time, I don't have the energy to think about that. So I was like, Dad, take it over. You look for clients, you do everything, and he's been doing a really good job maintaining it and even expanding the business with a potential client coming in probably the next 3 months.
He was probably waiting for you to hand it over then.
Oh, 100%. Since day one. Since day one.
That's good.
And it's good to see my dad kind of like be a business owner too, since he worked as an engineer for all his life, so 65 years old. But on the business side, it's a different type of hustle. It's a different type of responsibility to own a business. So seeing him kind of step into that role, it's awesome because now he's kind of thinking like a businessman, I would say.
And I think everybody should think like a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
I, one, aspire to have my own company, own my own product, and this is some of it. I mean, having a podcast, I like the freedom to do what I want, the vision, the look, the way everything comes together. So that's kind of exciting to me.
It's definitely exciting, and I mean the podcast. I always say like social media, the new age we live in right now, it's all about media, and I strongly agree or strongly believe in is that like your social media page is your new resume. People they want to see a face. They want to see something you've been doing because the old blueprint doesn't work anymore. So now we're going to new age, and I kind of had to come in acceptance with myself to like, okay, this is what I need to do in order for me to get to the next level. That content creation is the next move, is the next game.
And what content do you put out? What type of content do you put out on your socials? What are some of the topics that you have out there?
So, the platforms I'm on right now, it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. A big one that I really want to push is X, right? X, formerly Twitter, because I like to write. I love to write. I journal a lot, and writing my thoughts for people to see on a daily basis is something I love because I see people interact and they comment. We have conversations off the platform. And the type of content I post is just things I learn, really. It's things that I read every day. I listen to podcasts almost every day. I'm just implementing good habits and good content in my life. And I always say knowledge isn't power until it's applied. So I read, I learn, but I apply it. And I learn and I refine my craft. And then, I spread the message to people that are trying to do the same thing.
I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, it was one time that I journaled. And it was actually recently, it was a few months ago, and it was at a moment where I had a lot of things on my mind. I had life, I had work, I had family, you name it. It was all running at the same time in my mind. And I did it one time. I went to go have a beer, I took a notepad with me, I took a pen, and I just wrote. I wrote down whatever was on my mind. I wrote a song, I wrote a little film of different lines from different people, and to be honest with you, I came back and I felt happy. I felt good. I felt a form of freedom. But that was the only time that I did it. Would you recommend me or the people watching to journal? What is it about it that makes it so special?
Journaling, and definitely you should keep doing it. I mean, if it made you feel happy, made you feel kind of more like yourself, definitely highly encourage you to do it. And journaling, the thing I always preach about it is that it kind of slows down time and forces you to slow down because you have a pen, you have a paper, and to go word by word. You have a million thoughts running through your head every single day, running 100 miles per hour. But when you're journaling, write one word at a time. See what you're actually thinking in your head. So whenever you're writing down these thoughts, and then eventually you get a page, you finally get to see what's going on in your head, and then kind of sitting in the back seat of your mind, and like, okay, this is what I'm thinking. This is where I'm currently at right now. Okay, now what can I do to take action to achieve this goal, or what can I work on, right? So I think that I used to do it so many times, but I've been busy. But I'm gonna start implementing it back into my routine. Is that every Sunday I would review myself. So I would go over the things that happened that week, negative or positive, things that I wish I could have done better, and then write down everything that have happened and the things that I want to improve on. And then that's why when Monday comes around, I'm like, boom, new week, new game. I know what I did last time. Now it would be better.
Do you read your writings of your journal? Do you read it over?
I kind of read the older ones. I like kind of seeing the old Jorge. Because that person was totally different than where I'm at right now. So it's good to see that growth. And not so much the recent ones, because that's kind of the same person. But it's fun to see the person you used to be and then where you are now. And just comparing it. It's honestly a beautiful thing.
I was looking through some of your content, and you have a podcast yourself, and you post kind of learnings that you learn through books, through podcasts, and you share. There was one specifically that I wanted to touch up on, and it was Spiritual Warrior by John Roger. And you talked about 4 pillars, right, of what it takes to be a spiritual warrior. Can you touch on that?
Yeah, totally. So I guess we can go unpack it one by one. So the first pillar is being able to be emotionally strong, right? Emotional intelligence, which is honestly the greatest asset, the greatest skill somebody can have, because in a world full of chaos and noise, being able to not get derailed and get pulled by these different elements, these different tools, the world's using to get you, is a strong thing to have within yourself, because no matter what's happening out there, if you're able to have peace with yourself and be okay with yourself. And I think I want to touch upon right now too is that the winter arc is coming, meaning it's in October, I think October through April, and last winter arc I had a season of solitude. So when you're alone, that's probably the most powerful thing you can do for yourself, because you get to know yourself, where you don't need anybody else, that you can actually be okay with yourself, have fun by yourself, and not have validation from anyone else to take on your goals, right? So that kind of falls into the role of emotional intelligence, because you don't need anyone else. You got your own, and you know that you stand by your principles, your values, and as long as you stay aligned to your road, the world can't take you away from that, really.
Okay, so first pillar is emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Controlling your emotions.
Controlling your emotions, the most powerful thing you can do.
What's next?
Next one has to be the mentally strong, mentally disciplined. You can't go anywhere if you're not disciplined. You run on motivation. Motivation is just an emotion that goes and comes, just like when you feel you're sad or you're happy. Emotions come and go just like motivation. So to rely on discipline is the glue that holds everything together, right? And you can work on your discipline. And the way to do that is just to do little bite-sized goals of whatever you want to achieve, right? So let's say you want to start reading, instead of like, okay, I'm going to read this book in a week. You can't do that. Honestly, your body's not used to that, your mind's not used to that. So instead, you do 5 minutes a day. Even if you didn't go through the whole page, 5 minutes a day. And I encourage you to get a journal like this, check it off. I did it. The whole point of that is to build confidence, and your mind's a supercomputer. It only remembers, like little feelings that make you feel good or make you feel bad. So once you get on the other side where I'm achieving this, check 1, check 2, 3, 4, 5. Next thing you know, in 2 months, you established a habit, right? And that's where discipline comes in. You need to be disciplined to get where you want to be. Discipline equals freedom. So honestly, before anything, you need to figure out how to be disciplined, and through that is by bite-sized goals, really.
So emotional intelligence, being in tune with your feelings, and then you go into being mentally strong, but it comes with discipline in order to be able to achieve those, even if it's a little goal, to achieve them, to eventually grow it into something big.
Exactly.
Those are your 2 pillars. What else comes with it?
So a little more on number 2,
Okay.
number 2. So being disciplined also kind of falls into the role of, saying no to the things that don't serve you. So you can't only be disciplined to the things, that you need to do, but also the things that don't serve you, whether it's people, whether it's food, whether it's, negative stuff that can actually drain your energy. Having the discipline to say no. That's another thing I would highly encourage the audience to, to take note of, that you have to be disciplined in all areas of your life. Every single aspect, every single angle. So yeah.
To touch on that, me and a few of my buddies, we did 75 hard. I think it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So 75 hard, if you don't know what it is, it's 75 straight days. It's 2 workouts a day. It's a clean diet, no alcohol, a gallon of water, and a picture a day. It was a workout inside and a workout outside. 75 straight days. That, I'll tell you, was something that was mentally hard because of the bad habits that I'll speak on myself, I won't speak on the buddies that did it with me, but the bad habits that I had already, I think that challenge kind of gave me a different perspective on the little things, the little bad habits that I can change. And I recommend it if whether it's for your health or for your mind, I recommend giving it a try. And reach out to me if you have questions. Going forward with those 2 pillars.
Mm-hmm.
The third one, I remember it in your podcast. Purpose?
Purpose.
Okay, what is that?
Purpose. Everyone has a purpose here. Everybody does. It's not a coincidence that Earth, this spinning ball we live in, that even Earth itself is a crazy, crazy, crazy concept. But for you to be born into this Earth is a gift. There's something behind it, and there's a purpose behind every person here in the world. But only the ones who have the courage and the will to find that purpose will be the ones, to fulfill it, right? And purpose, it's one of the pillars because you need direction in your life. If you wake up every day kind of going with the flow, going with, okay, like I have work, I have to do this, do that, and then we go to sleep and then go to work and repeat, right? It gets repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
Time starts to fly. But when you have a purpose, when you're chasing after something, you wake up for a reason. Where work is not work anymore. Work is like, this is just part of the game because I'm trying to achieve this. When you're chasing your purpose, that's going to be the biggest hunt of your life. And there's a saying, it's not the kill that's fun, it's the hunt. You need to constantly be on a chase for your purpose. And this is a chase. This is a chase that's not going to end until the end of your life. No one knows. Like, it's not like, in 10 years you reach your purpose, you fulfilled your goal. That's it. You're done with life. No, it constantly changes. And the only way to figure out your purpose is to dig down deep inside what truly matters to you. Like how you said when you were journaling, what lit you up, that's a sign that you're tingling on your purpose. So being able to pursue that every single day, how I said, having a direction, being intentional with your days, makes every day like a mini movie.
Right.
It's a different perspective. It really is a different perspective when you see the world through a purpose and through meaning. And meanwhile, you're aligning your values, your principles, and your people, your family, your friends, your coworkers, your community. So it's definitely something that it has to be one of the pillars because we all need a purpose and we all need to find it.
Okay, that's 3. There's 4. Which is the 4th one that I'm missing?
Try your best. Try your best is a hard fucking road. It's a hard fucking road to be able to pursue your purpose, meanwhile being emotionally intelligent, meanwhile being mentally disciplined. It's so hard, and all you can do is try your best. And I always say, if you can go to sleep, your head hits the pillow, knowing you tried your best, that's all you can do. And let the man upstairs handle the rest. Do your thing. And I think that's something that a lot of people oversee. I mean, we're told that since we're young. Try your best, try your best. But in life, all you can do is try your best and, let the universe do the rest. And, once you kind of stay true to that idea and constantly you go to sleep knowing you try your best, it starts, shit starts happening fast, I would say.
If I'm a person that I'm trying to find my purpose, but I haven't found it yet, I haven't yet mastered my emotions. I'm still struggling to be mentally strong, but I'm trying. Could I be on the cusp of a spiritual warrior?
Yes. If you're battling to be better, you are a spiritual warrior. Whether that's in your relationship, whether that's in your job, whether that's with your family, being a better brother, a better friend, you are battling to be a spiritual warrior. Because here's the thing, Chris, spiritual warrior, it's a term that, I just picked up that book and I got it recommended from a friend and I love that book so much and you're gonna hear me say it all the time, spiritual warrior. And I truly believe when you have all the 4 pillars, I call it the perfect harmony, where you have every pillar, not perfect, because you can't be perfect,
right?
But you have it like 90%, you're good. That's where you're operating on a different frequency. That's where you start seeing different world. That's where naturally opportunity starts happening. And that's the way the world works. When opportunities are happening, that means you're operating in somewhere else where you can meet these other opportunities, right? Because the people who are like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all these huge, successful people, and it's not money. It's not money that makes someone successful. It's what's happening in here. It's can you vibrate and, higher frequency through self-development.
Talk to me, because I've learned, or at least recently, I'm never satisfied. I'm never satisfied. And I was speaking to my cousin a couple of weeks ago, and she told me that I'm not satisfied because I don't finish. I don't finish. I start, and then I move on to the next thing, and I move on to the next thing. And that's what might be causing me to not be satisfied. Now, sometimes I think, well, I am a jack of all trades, but then I think I'm a master of none. What do you think about that? What do you think about being able to have a leg in each store, but you're not in completely?
That's definitely something you have to journal, I would say. But I think the advice I'll give to you is like what brings out more energy in you.
This is my journaling. This is my resume.
Yeah.
Having conversations.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, conversation is a perfect way to explore ideas and get things settled out. But I mean, for yourself, it's something that you definitely need to kind of tap in. What excites you, right? So I mean, for myself, I was an entrepreneur when I was young, right? So what excited me was money, making business, making deals. So I'm like, okay, this is cool, this is that, this and that, right? But then eventually, I was like, no, that doesn't excite me anymore. And I was like, what's the next step, right? But then when I kept asking that question, what's the next step? What do I like? What do I like to do? And then after that whole phase happened, the dark stage into the light, I noticed that I had opportunities to help other people, friends, family, strangers. I had so many encounters, Chris, that just like I don't know how to explain it, but I felt joy in helping someone out, and that's where I was like, this is what I'm meant to do. So once I got that calling, that mission, I'm like, fuck it, let's see where we go.
I feel that 100%, bro. I genuinely feel happy when somebody tells me thank you, or even if the thank you's not there and I see the face change, the smile approach on their face, it really feels good. It feels extremely good. And then I'm talking work, I'm talking with my relationship, with my family, with my buddies, my bros. It feels good. I just really enjoy that aspect.
Yeah, because humans are meant to serve. We are meant to give. We're not meant to receive and take away. We're meant to give. That's why it feels good when you open a door for an old lady, or you take someone's groceries out that needs help.
What do you think about, this is something that I think you might know, I might know, with our group of friends, about the vulnerability in a man. Being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Being in tune with your emotions and being okay with sharing that.
Yeah.
What's your thought on that?
I love how you brought that up, bro. That's the most important part. Being a man doesn't mean being macho, being the biggest in the room, the loudest in the room. Nah. Like alpha, nah, none of that. A person, a strong man, is someone who's able to be vulnerable. Someone's able to be emotional, right? And surrendering to what is, right? And just to let go. And that's the strongest thing a man can do, is whenever they're able to show their emotions, no matter who's in the room, and tell them about their story. Like, yeah, this is what I'm here now, but I'm stronger than ever. Versus someone who just wants to hide it, and eventually it's going to eat them up. So being vulnerable is the most important thing you can do, because that's what makes you connect with someone else. Like, no one would connect with me if I came out with content and I didn't share my dark. They'll be like, oh, this guy, perfect life, 2 beautiful parents, family, car, food, all this, right? But I'm like, no, the reason I'm doing this is because I was in a dark place. So when you're able to be vulnerable and show people that you can get kicked down, but then you tell them, but I got back up.
You probably notice it too when you're speaking to somebody new and you get along, but you don't connect, because it's superficial. It's on the outside. It's cracking a joke. How's your day? What's going on? But then the moment when you sit down and you talk about how's life, what's going on with your life, how are you feeling, what's your emotions like? When it gets to that, that's when you start feeling the connection.
Yes, that's what it is, because I believe too many people listen to talk instead of listen to understand. You have to listen to understand, because you're living in the world, I'm living in the world, we're all trying our best. Let's try our best to be there for each other, right? So when it's your people, like your best friends or your family and people around you, be the person, like, I don't have to talk at all right now, but I'm willing to hear what you say, and whether I say one word or not, I want to be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what connects you even more, right? So that's what it is. It's all about business, and everything is all about connecting. It's about serving. It's about how well can you, appreciate someone else.
And when you connect and you relationship build, what comes with that? Trust.
And after that, loyalty comes in, and that's where you make your best friend. That's where you guys are friends forever. So that's why you always have to make sure you wear your heart on your sleeve wherever you go, because you don't know who you're going to talk to. You don't know who might want or who might need to hear what you have to say, because of your experience, and you being vulnerable enough to expose, yourself to this person. Mm-hmm. That's going to fucking help them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. You said that you read a lot, right? I want to play a game with you. Okay. I'm doing a game with all my guests this year. I want to be like Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show. Yeah. Hopefully that'll happen one day. Mm-hmm. My people in the back, they're laughing at me, but I'm going to prove them wrong. This game is simple. I'm going to read to you different themes of books, and your improv skills have to come out. Okay. You tell me what that book would be titled.
I'll try my best.
Okay?
I'll try my best. That's an interesting game, honestly.
It's off the top, to be honest. I just made it up.
Can we freestyle instead?
I don't want to give everybody my skills up front.
Okay. You gotta favor that.
If I bring on a rapper, if I bring some rappers on, maybe Drake will come on if you're watching this. Drake, then I'll freestyle with him.
Okay. Cool. If Young and May comes on, she's roasting everything.
I love Young and May.
Yeah, she's a dog. I love her. Alright, I'm ready.
Okay. Here's the first one. A common theme that explores how everything good comes at a cost.
No pain, no gain.
I like that. I like that. Okay. No pain, no gain. Next one. A theme that explores the importance of following one's dream and finding out one's true purpose.
The Ultimate Treasure.
Are these books you read already or not?
No, that's all I read. It's off the head. It's all off the head.
Okay, I like that one. Here's the next one. A theme that explores the difference between anabolic leaders and catabolic leaders and how anabolic leaders create success.
Everything rises or falls in leadership. Let's go with that.
Okay.
How many questions you got there?
It's the last one.
Okay.
It's the last one, and this one might be the most important.
Okay, sounds good.
A theme that explores how even the most successful people in companies started as small ideas.
Every professional is once a beginner. Like that. Mm-hmm. Nice.
I just gave you 4 or 5 different books that you can write. Do you ever aspire to be an author?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely gonna plan to do that maybe in 2026, because 2024 was throw shit on the wall, figure out what we're doing.
Right.
2025 is we got the boat on the water. Mm-hmm. Let's see where we can go. Mm-hmm. 2026, I think that's gonna be a great year of a little more time for me to write my books. But I actually kind of started writing something already. Mm-hmm. I probably have like 10 pages already.
Nice. And do these come from your journaling? Or does it have a specific message behind everything?
It's a journaling, mix of the journaling, but it's more like lessons I learned, but also stories. Kind of put stories, because people love stories. Mm-hmm. Whenever you're able to paint a picture, somebody's had experiences, mm-hmm. and then try to put them in that shoe, in that spot. And definitely a book is gonna come out, and I don't know what's gonna be called. I don't know what's gonna.
Well, maybe you can grab one of those.
That's off the rip too.
Rewatch the video and grab one of those.
100%. I like that. I like that a lot, honestly.
What should we call that? We'll call it Books to Be. That's the name of the game. Okay. Books to Be. The one we just played. I should have said it in the beginning, but I'll include it on the video. I like what you said about when we're talking about the experiences. Mm-hmm. I always say this, and I've said it multiple times, how your experiences shape your beliefs, mm-hmm. and your beliefs shape your identity. That's one of the first things that I learned when I was going through my life coach certification. Mm-hmm. That is one of the things that stuck with me the most.
Yes.
What do you take out of that?
So we are created by the thoughts we think. No, let me rephrase that. We are created by the thoughts we believe in. Right. So it's all perspective. It's all perspective.
Clip that.
Clip that right
Yeah.
quick. It's all perspective. So let me give you an example. Let's say two people were in the same position, right? Let's say these two people both had parents who were alcoholics, but person A went to go be a millionaire. Person B repeated the same cycle. Same situation, same parents, just one had a different perspective. And that's the most important thing. You have to believe you can do it. You have to believe that there is something else out there for you. And most importantly, you have to have faith. I said this in my previous episode. Actually, it hasn't come out yet, but I explained the concept where people are either living in fear or faith. Fear of like, no, I can't do it because I'm being criticized. Fear, no, like I'm gonna stay in my room because I don't want to get uncomfortable. Or you live in faith where, fuck it, what's on this other side? Let me go see what happens.
You say that, and to be honest, I feel like I live in both. I'm very faithful. I truly believe in that power, but I am scared or I am fearful of one or two things. And it's nothing, the dark or monsters or whatnot, though I don't like scary movies. But it's not being satisfied of who I am as a person. That's a fear of mine.
That is a good fear to have. I mean, what people should fear more is regret. Let's say, the day, you kick the bucket, you're standing there before your creator, and he shows you a little clip. It's like, this is who you should have been. But you decide not to do it because fear. And then boom. How would that make you feel?
Yeah, that's powerful.
Super powerful.
That's a hard conversation.
Tough conversation. So, I mean, meanwhile, you're young, we have a lot of energy right now. Let's use it on the things we need to do so we can, enjoy our fruits in the future. Let's plant our seed now so we'll be chilling in the shade and later. So that's exactly what, that people who live in faith do. Trying to make something out of nothing. And then eventually it's going to resolve itself because if you have the discipline, consistency, persistent enough, it's going to happen no matter what. The universe has to give you what you want. And I think that's probably the biggest takeaway that I feel like people should take from this message, from this podcast. It's, like you have to keep pushing and you have to go through hard things in order to see a different reality. And, have faith, surround yourself with good people. You have to be surrounded by dogs, people who are sharpening you, people who are motivating you, encouraging you, who are also failing on their own. They're failing, they're succeeding, both are working together because vibe attracts tribe. And, once you have that crew, you go out there and see what you can do.
Isn't it so? I truly, truly love my friend group, my closest friend group. I like what you said. What did you say? Tribe is a vibe or what?
Vibe attracts tribe.
Vibe attracts tribe. I thought you were going to start freestyling.
Yeah,
but
that's a little bit.
That's a little rap. No, but seriously, I really cherish that. And I feel like those that are around me have a goal. And that's motivating. Because I know when one makes it, he'll help the others until everybody's made it. And it's that ladder. It's that, okay, 2 got it, well, 3 got it, let's go, keep moving. That's something that I really enjoy. And I truly feel that. I feel that with my boys. It's powerful. Yeah. When you put a group of like-minded men with a goal, with purpose, it feels good.
We need that.
Yeah.
We need that to thrive. We need that in the world like what we're living right now. We need a community. And if you have, you don't have the weak link in there, everyone's strong, everyone's helping each other out, you don't know what you can do as a group. And
even that, I mean, I think weak link isn't who they are. It's somebody that might need a little bit more push. 100%. But as soon as it's there, it's everybody's in sync. Everybody gets to that area.
Exactly, and people think it's too far. It's far away. Like they think a new life is far away, but honestly, especially living here, well, in San Antonio. In San Antonio, there's a lot of people here who are successful. Go out there and go and drink coffee at the most expensive coffee shop. You're surrounded by millionaires. Introduce yourself. Ask a question. That's what I did over here in Austin. I just would do my work in a place where a lot of people will be there. Lamborghinis, all these other things.
I'm super mainstream. I gotta get out. I'll be working at Starbucks.
Yeah, that's literally so. Like when I moved to Austin, I was a waiter. I was a person serving, but I was serving in the most expensive sandwich shop. Chris Bosch would go and eat, and all these different big YouTubers would go. I was surrounded by money, and the conversations. I saw a different world.
Yeah.
Content creating was normal. Building business was normal. Everything was normal. So
that goes back to the experiences.
Your perspective.
It's what you go through, what you learn.
Exactly.
That shape. Oh crap! There's something else for me.
Yes, and
something extra.
Another thing I want to touch upon is understand that you're gonna learn. We're here to learn. No matter what stage you're in, if you're not where you want to be, you're there for a reason. So learn. Learn what you need to learn. Be intentional with your days. What am I supposed to learn today from this customer, from this interaction I had with a friend that maybe the conversation didn't go well? What can I do to get better every single day? And once you're a learner, once you're in the seat of a student every single day, you grow 100%, like 100 miles per hour, you'll be growing. And I think that's something that helped me out. It's just be a learner. Understand that you're not where you want to be. So let's be a student.
For all the people watching from Austin, yourself that now you're in Austin, would you say that your life now is a land full of green and blankets and sunset rise and runs by the lake and not in a bad way.
Yeah.
I mean that as a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I spoke to my buddy Charlie the other day and he told me, cause he just moved up there and he's by himself there, or at least lives alone. And he's like, no, yeah, that's my life now. And he's like, I love it. He loves it. He thinks it's great. Has that been the case for you?
So kind of going back to the conversation we had where we had a conversation, you said a different way of thinking. Our conversation was a higher level thinking. That's what transferred over to Austin, I would say, because Austin is a very young, ambitious city that trying whatever. Run clubs like Raw Dog. You have entrepreneurs, you have people moving in, like Elon Musk moved Tesla, Meta's moving to Austin.
Kill Tony's
there.
Joe Rogan.
If you're surrounded by high-level individuals, you're attracting high-level individuals. So naturally, what Charles is experiencing, he's getting surrounded by these other people. And everything he's doing is good. It's not like he's eating like shit or anything. He's running, he's outside, he's making friends, and everyone is just doing the same thing because we all rise together. Everyone's operating at a higher frequency. But once you put everyone in the city that's operating at a higher frequency, that's Austin, Texas for you right there.
I was talking for Charlie.
Yeah.
He's over there like,
I know.
I have a shit experience. What we're talking about.
That's funny.
Have you been out to the Kill 20s or no?
I have not yet, but I've been wanting to go so bad. And I love Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis is actually, he cracks me up.
The whole Trump bit that he's been doing.
It's so funny because he does it so accurately. He does it so perfectly, and it's so funny. But yeah, Kill 20 is something I definitely need to go to. And the rest of Austin's just so much to explore, and I highly encourage for people who are young to get out of Austin because a lot of things are happening. And honestly, you can catch fire quick. You never know who you're gonna meet. You never know.
I consider myself to be a great at improv, and I would tell my buddies, I want to go do stand up. I want to go do stand up at LO Comedy Club here in SA or in Austin, and they don't think I could do it, but I think I could do some crowd work. Do like the guy that sings, "What is your name?"
I've seen him. I forgot his name though.
Me too. But what he does is funny.
You should definitely do it though. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you're young. Go out there and explore, dude. And at the end of the day, like, what's it gonna do to you?
I do overthink, and it's not with decisions. It's more of what is the outside what does it look like on the outside? But then I'm got to a point where I was like, fuck it, who cares?
We're all gonna die.
That's why I want to push this podcast, dude. I'm really excited. I'm rooting for it to go somewhere. You know, I have big aspirations of yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's not in. Hopefully it's in a different setup.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited.
I'm excited for you too, and thanks for having me on. And for the audience, if y'all want to see my podcast, it's called the Level Up Lounge. I'll pass Chris a link to all the basically ways you can find me,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope you can give me a listen so I can do my best to bring value to your life. And also DM me if you need something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not unreachable, untouchable. DM me. We can hop on a phone call, whatever you need.
Mm-hmm. I love that, dude. I love that you're out there. It's not just for yourself, but it's for other people.
That's the only reason I'm doing it.
Definitely give Jorge a follow on the Level Up Lounge. I've watched a few of his episodes, and there's some great content. It's powerful, it's impactful, it's positive. I think, but it's not too positive. It's truthful. It's honest.
Yeah, I can be, I'll be straight up with you because we need to be straight up. You need to be honest, especially in this cruel world. You got to.
Yeah, you have to have some tough skin sometimes.
You have to.
Thank you for coming on. I truly appreciate it. It's been fun. We could talk for hours and hours,
100%.
and we probably will off camera.
Uh-huh.
But it's been a pleasure. I'm excited for what we have in the future,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully we can do this again some other time.
We'll definitely do this again. Maybe on the Level Up Lounge, huh? All
I'm
right.
down. Let's do it.
Yeah, bro. Well, I appreciate you, having me on the Perspective podcast and, bring me to your home as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'll definitely, set something up and just keep this thing rolling.
Sounds good, man. Thank y'all for watching.